The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser-cut dice towers, tokens, and more developed by a gamer for gamers and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gideon Block, a paladin with a tragic past.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Poppy Tealeaf, a Habbo and Halfling druid searching for a new life.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Zonimus Dinar, a half-elf rogue with a past he can't seem to escape.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Coughran Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer setting out to understand his own arcane gifts.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Caliban Frontier. It's been an oddly long few days at the last stop. What began as a journey to craft a working map of the Caliban Frontier for the Black Hands Rail Company has turned into something more. Recent events have changed things. Learning of the journal of Avery Amorse, the grandfather of the last stop's current mayor, Jonathan, could have proven to be a boon to the mission. But the book itself was stolen by the infamous outlaw, Wiley Smokes Moran. Not all was lost. Several entries were saved, and those may prove useful. But not only that, the death of Sheriff Reese's young deputy Thomas at Wiley's hands has had a ripple effect throughout the community. The mourning that has gripped them has yet to truly pass, but like it or not, life goes on. So, you all have had your individual experiences. You've all gone through some soul searching, and you've all had some time to rest and reflect further. The morning at the Long Rest Hotel is fairly quiet. People in the community they're starting to get up and about and starting to bustle around. Alyssa Clearwater does come Gideon, and she gently knocks on your door.
Yeah, Miss Clearwater, how can we help you?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Black. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rightly disturb your sleep. I know you had a long night with
Yeah.
Reza, but Hannah's boys have just delivered some supplies for your mission. I didn't rightly know where you'd like them to be placed.
Oh, they're actually here at the hotel. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Well, do you have any kind of storage area? I don't think we want to keep them in our rooms here, but do you have a storage area? It won't be long. Won't keep them there for just some temporary storage.
Yes, I have a safe area where I can keep the packs and things for you for when you're ready.
Is it too late for breakfast? Have you?
Oh no, Mr. Gideon, not for you and your friends.
I thank you so much. We'll be down in just a moment, and I go over to knock on Poppy's door, and I said, "Just Poppy, come on, we need to get up and go to breakfast." And I go over to Macron's door, and I go, "Macron, gotta get up." And I go over to Zonimus's door and knock really hard. Zonimus, time to get up.
You hear a thump on the other side of the door as I just reactively fling a dagger at it. Alright. I get up and I'm going to look around at this mess in this room. I'm not even on the bed. I'm on the floor. Something happened to the table holding the water basin. I don't remember. I know I was searching through my pack and I was looking for my flask, which turned out to be empty. Found my deck of cards and just threw them against the wall over here. Anger. I need to pick those up, but they're not there. I don't know where my cards went. I'll scoop up everything else and just sit on the edge of the bed for a minute.
Okay. I'm not in my room.
Oh. So I've been knocking and no one's door, so I checked the door and look in, and your bed made?
Yeah, I don't think I really slept there. Because although I was technically awake, I feel pretty rested after my night with Yazgash, and I really missed Wildfire, so I went to go hang out with him.
Okay, once I realize Poppy's not there, I'll just head on down. Again, bang on the door one more time on Macron's door, just to...
What?
Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah, you head down to the main room of the Long Rest Hotel. The morning sunlight is streaming through the windows, and you do see kind of over to one side of the room, there's, again, basically like a buffet table, covered trays and, just simple serve yourself. There's still a decent amount of food left over, so fill up your plate, get some coffee. A little on the strong side, but that's how orcs like it apparently.
Miss Clearwater, did you happen to see Poppy? She wasn't in her room.
Oh yes, Mr. Gideon. She left a little earlier. I think she might have been headed to the stables.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I guess we can go and check on her there. I'm sure she's spending time with Yazgash.
If she's gone to see Yazgash and Mazaga, you do not need to worry about her. Mazaga makes a fantastic, it's just that nice warm kind of oatmeal, very very traditional orcish dish. She'll be fine. You don't need to worry about her.
Oh, good. Well, we'll go check on her later, and still waiting for the other guys to come down. They might have tied something on. You really took care of Macron last night with your shiny moon. I guess that's what they called it.
Oh well, it was a special occasion. And she flushes a little bit, excuses herself to go. Oh, I think I hear my sister. I'll be right back.
About that time, you hear these heavy footsteps coming down the stairs, and then into the main kind of breakfast hall or whatever. And we see Mockrin, and he kind of looks around. He doesn't look too bad. He doesn't look too worse for the wear. Scans the room, just Gideon down so far, right?
Right.
And so raises a nod at Gideon, and then walks over and I may have been singing last night.
Oh, were you? Okay. Well, I didn't get a chance to hear you sing. Was it an old favorite?
I'm not really sure. I remember I enjoyed, and there's a human drink that's called Shiny Moon, and I tell you what, that'll knock a man off his rails.
Even a dwarf.
Even a dwarf, yes. And he sees you have a plate of food and goes over and gets some and comes back and very obviously looks around and then says, "Has Zonimus come down yet?"
I haven't seen him. I did hear him moving about, so I know he's in his room. Poppy has gone over to talk to Yazgash and probably check up on Wildfire, so we'll probably catch up with her a little bit later. We do know that we have gotten deliveries from the Tumbleweed Traders, so some of those orders that we have, we'll have to go check out, see what we got, and I guess also we're going to have to head over to talk to Yazgash about some horses and carts and stuff, because I think we should, now that we've got these pages from the journal, I think we should really start to consider heading out as soon as we can.
When we get together with the others, you see if we find anything interesting in it.
Right.
Your journal.
Yeah, and I think there's some good stuff. I think we have a starting point that we could start mapping out the Caliban frontier for the Train Barons. I think there's some good stuff here. It's not the whole thing, obviously, but it's a good starting point.
I've been thinking about dinner, that situation that happened at dinner, and Zonimus, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I think I maybe misread things. I may have said some things I shouldn't have said.
How so?
Well, I was thinking a lot last night, and then the thinking led to the drinking, and it was mostly Alyssa's fault, to be honest, but I certainly shouldn't judge people as maybe as harshly as I judged Zonimus last night. I told him it was all his fault. I don't know if that's exactly right.
What do you think, most people deserve a second chance, is what you're saying?
I smile fairly bright, and yeah, I think most people do.
Well, I tell you, my friend, we are not dissimilar in the fact that we have both had experiences where we're not always at the top, and we've had to kind of claw our way back and prove to other people that we can do what it is we're doing. And you're absolutely right. I think maybe Zonimus does deserve a second chance. Something we can talk to him about when he does come down, which I'm sure will be sometime this morning.
I fling my door open. And I stumble over the rail and look down. Catch you two down there with breakfast, and I slightly move my hand over to my arm and roll my sleeve down to the wrist. Are we leaving this town today?
We are. Good morning, Starshine. We are so excited to have you here.
Cursed hellhole. I step back into the room and grab my long coat and my pack. I'll come down and toss it onto a table and grab a plate. Where is she?
Oh,
This
Poppy.
is in the kitchen.
Just cracked everybody
Well, it hit me too that I'm glaring at you with a cocked eyebrow and no one can see it. He just stops everything he's doing and looks at you, very deadpan serious.
Oh.
And then he goes back to filling his plate.
Well, Poppy is apparently at the stables. We also, speaking of Alyssa, did actually get our stuff delivered from the Tumbleweed Traders. And we've got some things to go over, make sure that we've got everything loaded up. But I see no reason why we couldn't head out today, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I need to make a stop at the stables myself, and I'm ready to get out of here.
Also, before we go, Macro and I have been talking about how I think the whole point of our group is that we've come from different areas, but we've come together as a team. And it's all about making sure we're working together as a team. Is that something that fits right with you?
The point of our group is that we're under contract by Mr. Blackhand to do a job. Just so happens we happen to be doing it together.
Okay, well, if that's how it's going to be, then we're just work partners.
My shoulders fall just a little bit, and I take a deep breath, and I'm like, Zonimus, I may have opened a bag of nails right at the end of when we left the mayor's house. And, like I said, sometimes I don't understand situations as best as I should, and I think maybe you were thinking further down the rail line than I was, and I know that I misjudged you a little bit. And so, once steam is left to whistle, you can't put it back in, but I hope maybe that you forgive me for blaming you for things that definitely were not all your fault.
I appreciate your colorful metaphors. Yeah. I don't know how it looked like from your side at dinner last night, but I just want to go down saying, if this is where this ends, I'm the one that saved your life that night.
Which we understand.
And Gideon understood it pretty much right away, but it took me a little bit of, it wasn't exactly talking with Alyssa, but it took me a little bit of thinking about stuff to figure that out.
I also got to say, it is obvious that you know who this man is. A lot more than any of us do. And I think it would be right if you were to go and talk to the sheriff and let the sheriff know what you know about this Smokes gentleman, because that's a way to make things right, I think. He did some damage to this town.
I can tell the sheriff everything I used to know.
Right, I know that.
About him. But, this may not come as a surprise to you, Gideon, but I'm no saint.
Never said you were. I knew you were. I knew you had a past. I did too.
I've done things. I've done things with no regrets, but that's a life I tried to put past me, put it behind me. And last night at dinner, a grim reminder of it showed up, and I thought I knew who he was, and he's changed. He's different. I'll go talk to the sheriff. You want to come with me? That's fine.
I do. I think it'd be good to hear what you have to say. I understand that you don't know this man anymore. People change. I know he's probably changed, and I know you have too. And I appreciate that. Yeah? I've seen you change in just the past 3 days since I've known you. I think you care more for Poppy, and maybe even a little bit for us, than maybe you've cared about anyone in a long time. And there's no reason. That's not something to be embarrassed about. I know it's hard to put trust in someone when that trust has been broken. But I promise you can trust us, Zonimus. We've got your back.
Take a long slurp of my coffee and then say, and she did adopt you as a dad, so.
I'm gonna drop my plate down loudly and rudely while I'm still filling it with food and shout towards the kitchen, do you have any orc egg omelets in this place?
So yeah, Alyssa just kind of pokes her head out. I'm sorry, Mr. Zonimus. What were you wanting?
wanting to go. And I just grab my pack and my coat and walk to the door and look over my shoulder at you, Gideon, and head nod, you coming with me.
And I grab my coat, follow out.
Mockrin looks at his plate, looks back at them, looks at his plate, and kind of keeps eating. And drinks the coffee mug as he's like walking toward the door and sets it on the closest table as he walks out with him.
I'll step one step onto the street and I'll look the direction of the jail sheriff office. And I'll turn and look the direction of the stables. And I'll just completely turn around and look at you, Gideon, and shrug.
I say we head to the sheriff first. Get that knocked out of the way, and then we can go. Because once we get these horses and stuff, Zonimus, I'm ready to get out of here too. Once we get loaded up, we'll get out of here. We just got to make sure we do our duty first.
Start walking.
Does that mean I can go finish breakfast?
Go finish breakfast.
Okay, I'll see you guys.
All right, so Mockrin, you head back into the long rest to get a little more food. Gideon and Zonimus, you two start heading up the street towards the sheriff's office. Riza is there, kind of massaging one temple just a little bit. She has her basic map of the frontier kind of laid out on her desk and has some locations kind of placed. Basically, it seems to be like the local area and the local farms. And she's just kind of, now if I was that rat, where would I hide? Oh, Gideon, good morning.
Sheriff, good morning. Thank you for taking care of me last night during the vigil. I appreciate all the things you've done for us, and I've brought Zonimus with me. Zonimus, he has nothing to do right now with this man Smokes, but he did know him in a past life, as it were, and I think that he might be able to fill in some blanks of what this man's past was. Nothing current. He doesn't know anything about him, what he's doing right now, but maybe answer a few of your questions if you've got any.
Well, that's a heavy stone to drop into my path. She looks at you, Zonimus, for a long moment. So, tell me what you know about him. What could I expect from this man?
Well, he and I ran together for a long time in the same gang. And as I say these words of illegalness, I punctuate them with a cocked eyebrow, kind of gauge her reaction. For many years, we grew close. You know, things happen in organizations like that where there's opportunities to move to the top. And he and I always went that direction side by side. And we got a little sure of ourselves because all the heists we were pulling were just getting easier and easier for us. Until one day, he pulled a fast one on me. Because I cared about him, and I trusted him, and because he was never about the long con. He was always about the quick and easy. The man that we saw at dinner, he's got a plan, and I don't know what it is. I knew who he was when he walked through the door, and after that, I did not recognize him anymore.
She steps up to you, looks you directly into the eyes, standing very tall, shoulders very broad. I mean, Riza is impressive.
She's part orc?
Half orc, half elf.
Okay,
yeah.
so same here. And when I stand up fully and I've extended my head almost at attention but a little up, I don't have the pointy teeth that come up out of the mouth, but the thickness of those teeth are in my bottom row. They're just the same level as the rest of my teeth and flat. So it'll look like it would be described as looking like I have a big dip of chaw on both sides of my lip. And I make sure that that's prominent, my chin out, and square up with her.
Well, I can't control what someone may have done in their past. My concern is what they've done currently, and what they've done in my town. From what I've heard from the mayor, we owe you a debt of gratitude. You saved his family, for which I was going to drop this off a little later at the hotel, but I'll give it to you now. And she goes over into her safe and pulls out a small bag. These are for you and your friends as a thank you for what you did. And I thank you for coming forward and for being honest. While y'all are out there in the frontier, if you do hear anything else, if you find out anything else on where this man may have gone, or if you're feeling like bringing someone his head I will gladly take it. And she holds out a small satchel and allows you to take it.
I'll take it, cup it in my hand, kind of maneuver my fingers around it. Does it feel like coin?
It's not coins,
Okay.
but opening it up, there are 8 gemstones inside. They are onyx gemstones, worth about 50 gold apiece.
Are we still squared off with each other?
She steps back just a little bit,
I'll stand down.
just kind of relaxes back.
Are we satisfied?
Yes.
I'll spit on my heels to Gideon.
Just a moment. On a different subject, you got the map out here of the Caliban frontier. Just kind of curious, the journal from Mayor Jonathan's grandfather talked about Mother River.
Oh, the Great Mother River?
Right.
Yeah, she grabbing the map. So the Caliban region is basically everything to the west of the Cracked Crown mountain range. There are 3 rivers that are kind of known basically to everyone, both in the frontier and out east as well. But the most major of these rivers is known as the Great Mother River because it is the longest of the 3. It's one of those that they know it keeps going out and it stops somewhere out there. No one's quite sure exactly how long it goes.
Nobody's tracked it as far as no one from the east.
Yeah, nobody from the
Civilized
east.
areas, yeah.
And if it is somebody who out here who's done it, they haven't really talked about it. But yeah, so no one's exactly quite sure where it peters out.
Okay.
But you said that so like me and Mockran would know the name of that river, even
Yes.
though we grew up in the east.
Yes, it is. It's a very major. It's a very major river.
It's like the Nile. It's very important.
Yes. Yes. We cannot deny that denial is important. But again, we're kind of talking like, kind of something similar to the Rio Grande, where, it's that one feature that everybody knows about, even if you don't know exactly where it is or what's going on with it. But
does it go by nearby the last stop? I just don't have the map with me. Just now looking that up.
It's kind of to the northwest of the last stop. Yeah, so it's up to the northwest of the last stop. It would be a few days' journey to get there, but it would be possible to get to the Great Mother River and to follow it wherever
as far
it
as
goes.
it goes. Right. Okay, well, thank you. And let me ask you, have we got a bounty on this Smokes gentleman?
I've heard it's a couple thousand. I might be willing to toss in a little more. See if I can drum up a little more for your trouble if you do manage to find him.
Well, we're not heading out to look for him, but he might be along the same trail we're going. So if we happen along him, we might just
send him my regards.
We will bring you a gift. And I thank her. Say if there's nothing else, we will likely be heading out today.
Well, I wish you luck, Gideon. The frontier is a harsh mistress, but something tells me if there's anyone who would finally accomplish the task that has been set before you, it's you and your friends.
We will certainly do our best. Now, thank you for your faith in us.
You're very welcome. If there's anything at all that we can do for you here in the last stop, you say the word. We do owe y'all a debt.
Will do. Zonibus, you want to go see our daughter?
We'll just turn and look at the sheriff and say, Sheriff, nod. Look you dead in the eye, Gideon. You see everything the show I've been putting on start to drain out of me. I'll walk out of the office.
Howdy friends, Michael Cross here, taking just a few moments away from Red Dirt DnD, asking you to become a patron of this podcast. Your support means we can add a lot of extra niceties to the show in the form of artwork and music, as well as supporting our cast and crew. Patrons get early access to content as well as bonus material, along with access to our Discord server. You can even get an invite to monthly Q&A sessions and DM classes, maybe even a 2-hour game session with our very own Dungeon Master, Ash King. We have 6 different monthly levels to choose, ranging from $5 to $100. Head over to patreon.com/reddirtdnd right now to show your support for this new podcast. Now, back to Tales from the Caliban Frontier.
So, Miss Poppy, you have been spending some time down in the stables. So at first you had 2 dads. Now you have 2 moms.
Right.
As Yazgash kind of seems to have adopted you as her protege.
She's my Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. They have welcomed you, into the stables. Mazaga, she seems a little gruff at first because she's all business. But, she gets up, makes food, leaves it out, and there's plenty there. Like, it's just a big old pot. And it just kind of seems like, they'll feed whoever's hungry. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to worry about, going back and getting breakfast but you and Wildfire are just kind of out enjoying the morning sunshine.
I would like to think that I spoke to him and said, hey, I'm going to ride you now if that's cool, and kind of try to start practicing that. And I want to teach him a trick where we run, and then he stops real fast, and he launches me into the air, and then I turn into a snake.
Okay.
So I'm a flying snake.
So give me let's start with a animal handling check.
Okay.
And you've got Yazgash, who's sitting off to the side, just watching this very intently. It's
gonna be a 4.
A 4. Okay. So you're trying to teach him this new thing, and you guys you've just kind of met. So it's like when you're working, with a new dog, and okay, now sit. But the dog is still just why do I want to listen to you? But Wildfire, he gives it he's like, okay, this is kind of weird. And when he stops so short that instead of launching up, you launch into the ground in front of him, and he's just sitting there on his haunches, just looking down, tail wagging, did I do good?
Gives you a word.
I give him a pat, and then instead I'm going to just go wolf, and we were just going to play like little puppies.
Okay. Yeah, you transform into the shape of a wolf, and immediately he's just like, friend!
Yeah.
Hey, friend! Hey, friend! Hey!
So I give him a knowing nod. An understanding nod.
So he does that. So it's a thing that dogs do whenever they want to initiate playtime. It's that play bow. Mm-hmm. So he does that quick little bow and wags his tail, looks up at you, and is like, yeah?
So we'll just play. And that's probably what we're doing. Depending on, because I can only stay a wolf for an hour right now. So depending on how long it takes them to get over here, that's probably what we're doing.
Yeah, so I would say that Gideon and Zonimus and Mockran, if you would like to come along as well, you all kind of come in at the very last moment of this you see not one wolf, but 2 are just kind of wrestling and just playing around, but you kind of get knocked back, and it unintentionally knocks you out of the form just because the time has come up. And Wildfire's looking over at you and wait a second, what just happened?
I give him some scritches.
Oh, he leans.
It's okay, dude.
Leans into it.
I'll be able to do it again later. I need to rest.
So you can turn into a wolf as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as awesome as Wildfire, but I can look like a wolf.
I'd say that's pretty impressive.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Good morning.
Mockran's just dumbfounded. He's just he looks like an Auroch looking at a new rail line that's come through. What in the world is this?
You can do anything you want? It was not just snakes?
Right, so I lay a hand on Mockran's shoulder. Okay, so I know there was some confusion, and then I didn't see you much between then and now. Smokes did not turn me into a snake. I turned me into a snake.
On purpose?
Well, accidentally actually, but I can kind of do it on purpose. Now I've been practicing. So I can turn into things that I've seen that are simple. I gotta work myself up to more, dangerous animals. I also haven't really met that many dangerous animals outside of my book, so I wouldn't know how to make that.
One day she will be a mighty and ferocious eagle, and you will all fear her. As Yazgash just kind of hype man just behind Poppy.
Good morning, Yazgash.
Good morning, my friend. Have you eaten?
We have.
Okay, eat again.
It's really good. I promise.
I don't think we would turn that down. We thank you so much for breakfast. I don't know if Zonimus really had too much of breakfast, but...
Good. Eat. It'll do the heart good. She kind of you see like this big, it's a big pot of like this very homemade, soaked overnight oats with honey and some spices and, a little bit of dried fruit. So it's very hearty.
I will say that I am not avoiding Zonimus, but I am avoiding his gaze. Like, I'm not going to move to where I'm, like, far away from him, but I'm also, like, not really making eye contact.
What a coincidence.
Mockrin elbows on us. Real gently. She's like,
Oh. You guys, do you have orc egg omelets?
I could whip one up, yes. She goes into the stables and then comes back with, like, this large... Like, you're not sure, like, what bird this comes from, but, it's a pretty large egg. And, like, she has, like, an open campfire and some cast iron cookware that she just... crack! to the fizzle of it, meeting the pan, and she's adding in all these little ingredients and niceties and, folding it up until she finally, like, just... offers it up to you on a bit of, like, cheesecloth. Here, eat hearty. We'll help your tusks grow in.
I don't want them to grow in. Thank you.
Wait, whoa. We can't gloss over the description of this egg. Are we talking like a Flintstone style, like big egg?
Like an ostrich.
Yeah.
The pantomime that Ash did was very large. I was confused by the size of this egg. Okay, we can
It's like an
continue.
ostrich egg.
Big egg. I don't know if Zonimus could eat that whole thing.
It's a frontier way of ordering a large omelet is an orc egg omelet.
Right. Are we sitting at a table all together?
Orcs
Oh,
don't-
no.
Orcs don't
No.
lay eggs on.
Yeah,
We're just on the
like...
ground.
What's a
Oh.
table?
No, I mean, but are we sitting together?
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
Presumably.
there's like a little, again, it's kind of a little, like, camping, cooking fire, and there's... some logs just around it, just seems to be just what Yazgash and Mazaga prefer. But Yazgash just kind of stretches out in the morning sun, she's got a pipe that she's just kind of smoking on, and just, she's just enjoying herself. It's a good morning.
And both Yazgash and Mazga are there.
Mazga you hear the sounds of her working at the blacksmith, so...
Yes, guys, have you ever in your travels found a temple possibly along the Great Mother River out west? Possibly to Thundercrack. An old temple to Thundercrack.
Kind of strokes her chin. I've heard old tales. Very old tales. The little ones. What are they called? What is the word I'm looking for? And you suddenly hear from the blacksmith, kobolds! Ah, yes! Kobolds! The kobolds and the dragonborn. Yes, that's the other one. It is said that these creatures guard the secrets of the dragons. So it would not be a far-fetched thought to imagine that they must have places that they guard. So it is possible.
But you've never been out, you've never seen a temple out there of any kind?
I have never looked for one.
Right. We would it was mentioned in the journal, and by this time I'm looking also to the others. I'm saying in the journal that we got from Mayor Jonathan, back from his grandfather, mentioned somewhere possibly closer to the Great Mother River out west, there is an ancient temple, he said, was towards worshiping Thundercrack. And I thought, well, we've got these journal pages. Maybe it might be a good place for us to start as we head out to map the rest of the frontier. If you're still up for doing that.
Of course. That's why we're here, isn't it?
When she says that's why we're here, isn't it? I'm just going to look at Gideon with a reminder of, we're under contract to go map the frontier.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm dying to know, does Zonimus have a visible reaction when he mentions a temple out in the middle of nowhere?
Yes, but he's not giving it away.
Okay.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Look over to Yazgash and say, well, we have our equipment, and we got that on order from the traders, and I was wondering how we were looking for the horses. I know your son went out there.
Ah, yes, the lazy bones.
Yes. Any luck on getting those horses?
Well, he hasn't come back just yet.
Okay.
I sent him to the McKee farm. They are notable horse breeders in the region. And as she says this, you do hear the loud whinny of a horse as the hoofbeats draw closer. As you're looking, you see a beautiful brown and white horse comes to the stop in front of the stables. And a young-looking elven man jumps off this horse's back. There's no saddle, no bridle. He just seems to be intuitive with the creature. Just, Mother Yazgash! Mother Yazgash! Oh, you have guests.
It's all right, Windrunner. We're here actually waiting for you.
Oh, yes. The McKees. The McKees have disappeared.
Red Dirt D&D, Tales from the Caliban Frontier, is Ash King as our Dungeon Master, Brooke Bullock as Macron Stoneshaper, Johnny Payne as Zonimus Dinar, Kiri Hester as Poppy Tealeaf, and I'm Michael Cross as Gideon Block. Our sound producer is Mark Coughran. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician P.J. Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. We here at Red Dirt D&D could really use your help in getting the word out about us. If you like what you've heard, make sure and subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D and share us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and reddirtdnd.com. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. We have several giving levels to help us grow up big and strong. Join us next time as we go deeper into the Caliban Frontier.